What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Hopefully you guys are all doing well, and EA have dropped a lot of content on us for today's content. It's pretty crazy what they've dropped. We've got foot freeze now, which looks like plus 2s if I'm not mistaken on a lot of cards, maybe plus 1s here and there, but plus 2s it looks like, at least on the base versions. For a lot of cards. They're all position modified as well, so that's pretty sick. And then also on top of that, we've got 51 prime icons. I'm a bit interested and curious to see why they've split up the release for them. But we do have 51 new prime icons in game right now. These are the prime icons that are available in packs. And then of course, as well, on top of that, we have icon swaps. Set number 1 is here. You might have caught a glimpse of it, but we have 8 player tokens to grind over the next 2 to 3 weeks, as well as also 10 coming up, so for a total of 18 tokens. So keep that in your mind while you're looking at some of the rewards and seeing what you're going for. But that's what we've got going on right now on foot. A lot of content, a lot of fun stuff. We're getting daily foot freeze SBCs. That's the first one as well, Marquinhos at a CDM spot, and then they're kind of teasing the next ones across. So we've got a right back from Argentina, we've got a Bayer Leverkusen guy, and then we've also got a striker from the Spanish peeps. And I'm thinking that probably could be a right wing or a left wing change. I don't know who that entirely would be. Imagine that's like an Adama or something. Oh my days. That might be a bit nutty. That might be indeed a bit nutty. But some good looking concepts coming up. The content's looking really, really good right now. We've also got a objective Balassi as well. But I do want to talk about the objectives just for a second for the icon subs, because I think they've done a good job once again of this. Once again, it is a lot of games. You need about 45 wins, if I'm not mistaken. 6 for each of the main leagues. So that takes up to 30. And then of course, 5 wins per game in squad battles for the Eredivisie, the MLS, and the EFL Championship. And the good thing about this is, if you've gone ahead and you've done these milestone players, like I've done the EFL one, but I haven't done the Eredivisie and the MLS, you can actually use these cards in those. So, will help you quite a bit. But I don't think there's any first owner. There is a first owner requirement. It's only 5. And then for these ones, I don't think there's any first owner for these. So nothing too crazy. It's in friendlies as well, which is good. And you guys can take that pretty chill. And as long as you play like 15 wins per week across the entirety of the week, you'll get all of these tokens done, which is pretty reasonable. So I don't know. I think it's worth the grind. I think you should be able to get some good rewards from it. And I think they've done pretty well with the objective system this year. It's kind of the only thing for me personally that's kind of keeping the game alive midweek. So it's good to see. I'm excited for the grind, and we'll have a Balassi to do as well. There's a lot of stuff to do in this, so kind of very happy for the content coming into December for foot. But anyway, boys, let's go over to the play section. Let's go over to squad building challenges, because we are going to go through on today's video. We're gonna have a bit of a discussion, you and I. And talk through the icon swaps options. Of course, we got given 6 players. You guys would have known that from the loading screen yesterday. There are 6 players for you guys on options, and then there's a lot of pack options as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go through the player options first. Then we'll have a look at some of the packs, and then what we're going to do to wrap it all off is we'll give you guys some combinations, and hopefully give you guys maybe you want to go with this and this. And also keep in mind, boys, you don't actually have to grind out all the entirety of the 18 tokens. Like, if you want to, you can. But it's very viable just to go, if you wanted to get, for example, like a few packs and also as a Vidic, you could go 12. And you can get like this 83 plus 25 pack as well as a Vidic. So that's also a very viable option. That would be 12 out of the 18 tokens. So you don't have to really stress yourself too much. Or if you don't want to play squad battles or friendlies for a lot of it, you can play like maybe half of it, and that'll be fine. But anyway, boys, let's get straight into it. The first icon that we have got today is a bit of Nemanja Vidic, and I'm very happy they dropped the base version of this card, because the middle is not the best. The prime is actually, I think, a bit better than this card, I'm pretty sure, as it should be. But the middle has got, I think, 70 pace, which is definitely not the most usable and viable. He is 2-star skills and weak foot, but I don't think that matters too much as a center back. He's got medium-high work rate, which is absolutely unreal. He's 6'3", and if you guys have played up against him in game, he is such a presence. Like, this man is a wall. He's an absolute wall, and he kind of reminds me a bit of a Virgil van Dijk when you're playing up against him in game. He's so hard to get past, and yeah, he's just an incredible card. Now, going across to the stats, you guys can see very good stamina, very good strength. What I'd personally be chucking on this card is a shadow. You're lacking a tiny bit in the agility and balance, but even still, agility and balance at 70 and 74 on a 6'3" guy is actually still very, very good. It's only the distributive stats that I'd be kind of a bit worried about. But this is a very good card, guys. And for a center back icon at this sort of price, 7 tokens, not the craziest amount of effort. And you can, guys, go ahead and get this now. Like, if you wanted to, you go ahead, you can grind this, get this now, get yourself an icon center back, partner him with someone like who's a bit faster. So, for example, maybe a Koundé if he gets the road to the final upgrade. Or if you really want to, you could go for like a Varane if you're feeling very original. Nah, Varane very boring, but he's just exceptionally good. And like, I would just partner him with a faster boy, and you'd be able to do bits with this card. This would be an incredible card to do. So I think 7 tokens for this guy, very, very worthwhile. I'm kind of surprised I didn't drop a worse icon for less tokens, but look, I don't think I can complain too much. 7 tokens for this icon. Pretty good value, I would say. And I think he comes in around 400,000 coins, so that alleviates your center back spot. Like, you genuinely have, like, if you put this guy in, you have a center back spot, you don't have to think about it, and you have a very reliable center back, I would assume. I think I've only heard good stuff from people who've used Vidic, so that's good to see. Now, moving onwards, for a total of 9 tokens, we have Jorge Haji, the Romanian Cam himself. I can't speak today. And this is what he's looking like. Nothing really too crazy on this card. He is 4-star, 4-star. The work rates kind of hurt him a bit. He's got medium low, just like Sancho, I'm pretty sure. And when I was using, I think Sancho has medium low. When I was using Sancho, you need to manually trigger the runs. So that's something you're probably going to have to do with this card as well. He hasn't got the best of work rates. He probably won't get too far up the pitch unless you ask him to. Left-footed as well with the 4-star, 4-star. Nothing crazy, nothing amazing. I believe his moments last year had a 5-star skill moves. So unfortunately, we don't have on this card, but hopefully we see that in the future. But it's, you know what, it's not the craziest of cards, but I think if you wanted a cam icon, and this is a central icon, so it actually helps you link a lot of teams. If you put him in like a 4-3-3, you have strong links across, you just put him straight in the central spot, you'll be able to get a lot of chem on people. It's an alright card. He'll do well at the cam spot. He's got decent passing, decent pace, decent dribbling, alright shooting. I think the 82 finishing is a bit low. The thing is with shooting is, it all comes down to the shooting distribution. So you might have 87 shooting overall, but the fact that he's got like high penalties, high volleys, I think the shot power at 94 is incredible. And he's going to have a very good whip on his shot, but the 82 finishing is a bit concerning, so you probably want to boost that. And then also on top of that, he's only got 58 strength, as well as 82 stamina, 82 stamina, so maybe later on in the game he might get worn down a bit, but I don't think too many attackers have crazy stamina this year. I don't think it really matters all too much, so that might be something you want to consider. And then also on top of that, the 58 strength is a big deal, because he's not going to feel agile like a Neymar, in my opinion, and you kind of need that to work with the strength. It's the same thing with like Usman. You need to feel like very, very agile on the ball. But you never know. This card might actually feel really good in game. I don't know. I've actually never played with him. But firstly, for me, I personally wouldn't do him. But if you need a central attacking icon that is going to play as a cam for you, and you need him to be in a central spot, this is actually not a bad option. The other thing as well is with the traits, he hasn't got the best of traits. He hasn't got anything all too crazy. So no outside the foot shot, no finesse shot. He has got the flare trait, which is kind of cool, but yeah, I don't know. For me personally, I'd be kind of leaning more towards this card, the Nemanja Vidic over the Haji. That's my personal opinion. Now, moving onwards over to the next icon, we've got Davor Suker. I believe it's the first Croatian icon, if I'm not mistaken, that we have in FIFA. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. Now, Suker is a 6-foot high medium 4-star, 4-star left-footed attacker. He's a striker, and he looks like he has a very good card. I'm actually not surprised they dropped this card at all, because last year when we looked at icon swaps, they dropped a lot of the newer icons into icon swaps, so it makes a lot of sense that there's at least one new icon in here. I believe this is his middle version, so nothing spectacular in terms of like newer cards, but he looks like a very good icon. He's got good agility, good balance, good acceleration and sprint speed, as well as also very good shooting stats with high shot power, high finishing, high attack positioning. He's got 90 shooting, so he's gonna have a lethal shot on him. And as long as you chuck some sort of, I would say, either like a hunter or like an engine on him, maybe if you wanted to boost the agility and balance, he's gonna feel pretty good in the game. That's what I would assume. That being said, again, it's nothing like a crazy meta striker, but for 11 tokens, it's understandable, and it is also a newer icon, so I could see this card doing really well. The other thing as well is I think players who have like 6-foot builds this year are actually very viable. I've been running, last year I didn't run Ronaldo at all. I used Mbappe and Neymar for the entirety of the year. This year I've been running Ronaldo. He's 6'2", and I don't really feel an issue with his body size, with his sluggishness. He feels so good for me. So as long as you can get this card into good positions, and he's got 4-star skills as well to match it, as long as you can shoot with him in the right spots, he's going to be absolutely lethal for you. And if you need an icon striker, I think EA have given you a good option here. It's not too expensive. You could also very easily, and I actually don't know, yeah. You could actually go ahead and partner Vidic with Dave Suka if you wanted an attacker and a center back. You could get both of them for 18 tokens, which is a pretty good option. Now, moving onwards, we've got 3 more icons, and we're moving over to some primes now. We've got a prime Ronald Koeman, and this is a really good card. For 13 tokens, the only downside is he's kind of a center back. He is a center back, so you can definitely play him at the centre back position, but I think 5'11" isn't crazy for the centre back. He's also high medium work rates. I'd kind of switch him into the midfield if I was going to get this card, because I think as a midfielder, he looks absolutely sensational. He's only got 3-star, but high medium work rates with that sort of shooting, and then also on top of that, the agility balance is like the main weakness of the card, but the defensive stats are crazy. The physicals are so good, and I know in game he's a really hard card to lose. You took a shadow on this card. He's got 80 plus stats across the board. I think this is a really good card if you wanted to play him as a center back and then kind of move him up and progress him into the midfield. That's what I would personally say. And yeah, he looks like an incredible card. I think last year even, I've played up against him quite a few times, and last year he gave me a lot of problems, this sort of card. Even at centre back he did really well, but for me, I kind of would want to play this card a bit higher up if you had this card in your club. But he is a 91 rated icon, so that's kind of sick. And he's got, of course, his crazy shooting. So if you like to shoot some long shots, you got 98 shot power, you got 94 long shots, you got 97 free kick accuracy, and he's also got really good passing with 97 long passing and 88 short passing. So a very nice looking card for Ronald Koeman. 13 icon tokens. I don't know, especially if you're going to be playing him center back. I'd kind of be more shifting towards Vidic and then getting some other stuff in there as well. But look, it's a good option. It's a very good option. And if you wanted to do him, you could definitely do him. Now, to partner him in the Dutch spot, you can't actually get both of them, unfortunately. But we got a little bit of Frank Rijkaard's prime. And I'd even kind of be more tempted to do Koeman over Rijkaard for me personally. I think Rijkaard's middle is so good. But the prime and the baby, they just don't have what you need as a CDM. Again, this looks like a very good center back. Like if you check the right chem style on him, he'd be very good as a center back. And I think even in the middle, if you have him as like your, you know what, I'm going to stop everything, I'm your wall, you're not getting past me. He's going to be a hard card to get past. As being 6'2" with his frame in game, he's going to be pretty decent. He's got 4-star weak for 3-star skills. The only thing with downside on this sort of page is the medium work rates. You guys gotta understand that medium kind of means to just get a bit lost in the midfield. But the thing I like with my CDMs is I like them to attack. So the fact that he's got low agility, I mean not low agility, but not the best agility, not the best balance. Low finishing down at 69, and then also on top of that as well, not the best like attack positioning. I personally wouldn't play him as a CDM. He also hasn't got like the 4-star skills or something like that. And it's not like he's got crazy pace or agility or balance either. So that's kind of the way I see it. But if you run him as like just a sole defensive CDM, he'll probably do a really good job for you. Really high stamina, good strength, very good defending stats. And if you check a shadow on him, you go up to what, 87 pace. So if you are one of those boys who just wants a CDM, that'll be a rock solid option in your mid. He'll be really good. He also gets a strong link to Virgil van Dijk at the back. So if you got like a situation where you need an icon, you've got like a Prem goalie or like something along those lines, or maybe you got Van der Sar net, you can just strong link Virgil in, and you don't have to worry about Virgil being off chem at all. And same with some of the other Dutch players. So I think he gets good links. I think he's a really good option. Personally, not a card that I'd probably go for, but if you're one of those guys who just wants a CDM that is a sole out CDM, maybe that's something you want to go for. And then finally, also on top of that, we have one final icon, and it is going to be a Mil Henry for 17 tokens. So if you do choose this man, you cannot choose another icon or another reward at all. You just have to go with the Henry by itself. And the problem with this Henry, and this is the problem with every single other card like him as well, he's another left wing. And I don't know about you guys, but for me and for a lot of the teams I've been seeing on my stream, when people come in with team reviews, people have left wings for days. We're talking 2, 3, 4 sometimes left wings in most teams. And that is a problem. That is a big problem because realistically, if you're going to be spending 17 tokens, you want this card in your team for quite a long time. He's a very good card. He's a very hard card to play up a game. He's not the easiest to dispossess. He's got an unbelievable shot on him. The shot power is a bit low, but as you guys said right before, it's about the shooting distribution. So you're looking at that attack position, you're looking at that finishing, you're like, you know what, this card's going to play very well. And just across the board, he's an insane sort of card. But it is another left wing, and that's what you got to ask yourself. Is he going to displace your Rashfords or your Neymars and all that sort of stuff? And for me personally, I'm personally not going to do him because I've got a lot of left wings in my team right now. I've got Mane, Neymar, and Rashford all in my team. So I don't really need another left wing. But if you're a person who's an Arsenal fan, if you want a boy like Thierry Henry, this is something you might want to go for. And as I said before, he's great. He's got great physicalities. I think this year is a lot more suited to him. Last year, I probably would have stayed away from this card. But I think this year, when you consider cards like Ronaldo, like Cantona being extremely usable. Yes, they've got 5-star skills, and Henry's only got 4. But this card is very usable in that sense, being 6'2", having the frame, having the stature, having the strength as well. I don't think this is a bad shot. You check an engine on him, or like a hunter or a hawk or something like that. You'll be able to get good use out of him. That's what I would think. But the real question is he worth the 17 tokens? And that's something that you guys have got to make up in your mind, especially considering that he is a left wing. And also the medium work rates aren't great on him, I gotta say. I think that means he won't get into like the best shooting angles, but he's got finesse shot as well. So if you want to whip a ball, maybe play him as a left cam, whip the ball into the far post. He could definitely do that very well. But anyway, boys, that's kind of like the players. I think the most value one for me is probably actually this Vidic card. And then I think after that, I'd probably go either Koeman or Suker as one of the other two. I'm not a big fan of the Henry just because he is a left wing, so it's a bit of a noof. And then with Reichard, again, as I said before, he's not my sort of CDM. But that's kind of what I would personally do. Now, we also got to have a look at some of the packs and see how we're going to combo them up with the icons. For the first 3 of them, they've got 2, 3, and 5 tokens for these packs. And they're all just regular player packs. I don't think you can get icons from these. But if you wanted to save these for Team of the Year, that is a very viable option. We've got a 83, 25 players that are 83 rated plus. Pack, which is kind of crazy for 5 tokens. That's a lot of tokens for a pack, right? You got to play what? Probably somewhere around 30 games, 25 games to get this sort of pack. You do win that many games, but that is a lot of fodder. And coming up into Team of the Year, you don't know your luck. You might get something good. And if you save this pack for Team of the Year, there's a potential there is a Team of the Year in it. What I would say as well is that regardless, EA probably most of the time usually drop really high, like a lot of SBCs during Team of the Year, just to kind of give people something to do with the cards that they put through upgrade packs. So if you wanted to save this card for that and then also have the fodder for those SBCs that maybe come down later down the line, for Team of the Year, this is not a bad shout. Same with this one. I think these are pretty decent value, honestly. 2 and 3, 3 and 5 for this, and then 2 ultimate packs. These are like Division 1 rivals rewards. So if you wanted to do 2 ultimate packs as well, you could definitely well do that. You get, I think, what, 60 players? So some nice player packs. This would be for me. I wouldn't go, you know what, I'm gonna go do these packs. These are what I'm gonna do. Especially considering the fact that with icons, you can put them now through icon SBCs later down the line in the year. So I'd at least would want to get at least 1 icon. But if you have some tokens left over, maybe try and get one of these packs and see how you go for those. Now, moving onwards, the rest of them are icon packs. We've got a base for 8 tokens. We've got a base and middle for 10 tokens. We've got a middle icon for 12. And then we've also got a mid or prime for 15. And then to wrap it off, we have a base icon player pick for 17. And also an 89 mid icon pack for 16. Now, I want to talk about the mid icon plus pack for a fact. Just to start us off, just because I think that's probably a good way to go. What you got to consider, right, is if I switch you guys over to Footbin. This is where Footbin is at right now. There are a lot of really good cards that are middle cards, of course. You've got, like, all these top boys, so your Peles, your Maradonas, your Ronaldos. But you also got to consider there are a lot of very meh mid icons that are 89 plus. So you're looking at, like, Baggio, not the crazy, 600k. Peter Schmeichel, Dennis Bergkamp. Puyol with 72 pace, you know. Of course, if you got a Ruud Gullit, very big dubs. But Van Nistelrooy, Stoichkov's not crazy, but he's still pretty decent. Rivaldo's in there as well with 2-star weak foot. Andrea Pirlo, not the most meta. Like, you guys gotta consider, right, there's a lot of cards, and we move further down the line, there comes even more. Laudrup, who's 192k. Edwin van der Sar, who, if you've already got the baby van der Sar, you're not going to be able to use him. He's also a keeper as well, so I don't know if you want to spend 16 tokens on a keeper. And then you've also all these English boys. Steven Gerrard's actually a decent middle icon. There's quite a few cards around here for 800s also okay. And then you've got Ian Rush, you've got, like, Riquelme as well. So you guys don't understand, right? There are quite a few good cards in there, but there are also quite a few bad ones. And the real question is, do you want to go and test the odds for that, or would you want to spend one less token and get the mid or the prime for a chance at a prime icon? And I know also for a fact that the way that the middles are, actually I don't even know if you probably can't actually get like an SCM, but I know there are some middles in there that you're probably gonna miss out on. Like, for example, I think Rio's middles you're gonna miss out on. Same with, like, Vieira. Vieira's a huge one. He's 88 rated, and you can't actually get his middle from this pack. So I would personally prefer the middle, the prime over it. I think this is a bit better gamble than this one. That being said, if you like your odds with that and you see, like, you know what, it cancels out a lot of the worst mid icons, I might want to go for it. If you want to do that, you could do that. But I think for me, this is kind of like the same odds as, like, a regular middle icon pack. I just think there are some very bad cards that kind of knocks out, but your odds are already kind of against you already with the icons. So I'd kind of go for the middle of the prime, try to get yourself a bigger one for one less token as well. Now, moving across to the rest of the icons, I think basically this would be just whatever you can get, which is the best one to fill out a thing. So the base is obviously nice for 8, but we already have base icons. You guys know that. We've got a middle icon, base or middle, and I think if you have, like, if you wanted to actually go 2 icons, you could go this and this very easily. Also, if you wanted to do Nemanja Vidic and then get a base or middle, you could do that as well. That's a good option. And then, of course, moving onwards, we've got 12 icons for a middle icon pack. This is actually not bad value. I'm pretty happy with this. Same with the 15 tokens for the middle of the prime. But just consider that, like, there's no guarantee on this. So if you are going to do one of these, just keep in mind that you are rolling the dice. If you do end up getting something good, then vamos. If you end up getting something very meh, just keep in mind that that effort and the time that you put in is kind of gone. But again, once again, as I said, if you do manage to get a bad one, you can put them later down the line for a top tier icon. That'll be great to do, and yeah, you should be able to do that. But I don't know, boys. I'm kind of a bit here and there with the icon stuff. If I had to recommend anything, I would say I really think that if you need a good striker and a center back, Davor Suker as well as also Nemanja Vidic is a really good option. I'm not the biggest fan of Haji. I think if you want to do the 2 icon packs, you could definitely do that. Test your luck. You could also very much go for, like, a prime and then go for maybe the 2 ultimate packs or the 85 times 5 pack. You could do that. I'm actually kind of leaning more towards, how much would it be to do, you got 5, so you have 12, right? What's 12? Middle prime? It's a mid icon pack. I might go towards a mid icon and then also the 83-25, because for me, I've got Rio here. He's so good, so I don't need to get Rio anytime. Haji doesn't do anything. Same with Suka for me personally. Koeman and Reichard are kind of air cards, and then for me, I don't really need an Henri. So I'm kind of leaning towards maybe doing a mid icon pack and then also getting the 83-25 pack and trying to test my odds with that, because I have a feeling, maybe, you never know, with Team of the Year around the corner. I don't know what the odds are with this. I don't know how many 83s there are. But with Team of the Year around the corner, this would be a good pack to save for Team of the Year. And I would kind of, like, for me, I would personally rather a Team of the Year over all of these sort of cards, because I think Team of the Years are just, like, crazy boosted cards. Like, basically Team of the Seasons at this point of the year. So, that's what I'd be kind of going for. But I think if you wanted to go for any of the icons, I think for me personally, Henry's a good shout. Just consider that he's a left wing, so he might not fit into your team the easiest. And then also on top of that, we've got I'd say Koeman's a very good shout. Reichard, if you need a central card, is a decent option, but he's not crazy going forward. He's just a really good defensive boy. And then once again, Dave Suker and Nemanja Vidic is a really good option. And then you also got Haji as well. I'm kind of curious if there's any other options. You could go for the base and mid, and then you could also go for like a 3 and 5. So if you wanted to get like a lot of packs and also a base or mid icon pack, you could definitely do that as well. And then I think just straight up, this pack's actually a really good option as well. And you can get the 85 plus as well. The 85 5 player plus as well if you did the middle of the prime. So if you wanted to test your odds, maybe try get a prime icon, prime icon. Maybe that's something you want to go for. But overall, I don't think anything really too crazy from icon swaps. A lot of good options for people who don't have the best of teams. So it's a good shout. And once again, this promo is always targeted towards the more casual player base. So that's kind of the way it is. But anyway, boys, I think this video's going on for quite long. I think we've been recording now for like 25 minutes. That's gonna do it for this video, guys. Hopefully you found it informational. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to smash a big old thumbs up. Drop a subscribe as well, and leave us a comment. Let me know, what are you guys going for icon swaps? Are you taking packs? Are you taking what's called a specific player here and there? Let us know. But anyway, boys, that's gonna do it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Much love, take care, have a good one, and peace.
Whenever your heart is broken,